and welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please give us a little thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, tell a friend, all that jazz. Okay, we have our Friday double header. Happy Friday, everybody. First up on the docket, 90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, Season 4, Episode 8. No one likes a shady beach. I do. I can't do full sun anymore. Hey, Jamal. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for holding on for us. We was just talking in the background, doing day-to-day bad YouTuber business. Hello to everybody in the chat. Who do we have in here today? Hi, Lena. Welcome back. Hi, Tracy. I see Tracy's catching you up. Thank God. Let's see who else is in here. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Auntie. Hi, Phil, foster dog mom. Let's see. Anyone else in here? Okay, so we've got all the usual suspects. Hi, Stephen. Welcome. All righty. Who do we want to talk about first?
I'm just gonna say this right now. I think I've aged out of this show. I could not find near adult on this show. And it was just weird. This was a weird episode for me. Because let's start with Kyle and Annie. Because they made absolutely no sense as usual. And now it's Annie's. Now Annie's not making no sense.
What it is with her, I think, for me, because she's making me stutter. She flip-flops a lot. And just when she starts making sense, I get my hope up, and then she goes in and falls on his penis. And I have a problem with that.
Okay,
this episode, though.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, and this is for the ladies. Y'all, please chime in because y'all women, y'all gonna know this better than me. But between ovulation and STDs, like which one are you gonna be more concerned about? Because you let this man raw dog you, but your first thought process is like, oh my God, what if I'm ovulating? I don't want to have a baby, but you're not worried about STDs.
And I didn't see him give her the results
of the test.
But again, as much difficulty as I had with this couple and their storyline, what I will commend Sharp Productions and TLC for is for showing a storyline where this woman wants to take ownership of her body and do the day after pill or whatever it's called. Morning after. Where it fell down for me was that she gave the power of getting her medicine.
That was my thing. Okay.
A broke ass motherfucker who don't look like he got $5 in his pocket.
And that was my whole thing. Is like you went to she consciously was concerned. Okay, fantastic. She went to the market. Now, if you're buying an ovulating test, why wouldn't you buy the pill as backup? Just because my whole thing is if you are ovulating, why wouldn't you have like that on standby just in case, like cover all your bases?
Well, here's the thing, right? If she's a shady bitch like me, I would want to know if he had the ducats in order to buy it.
True.
Because how much is it? I never bought one because okay, it's about $50 or less in the US. Okay. If you're a shady bitch like me, you're gonna want to know if he's gonna do that. Okay, so basically their scenes this week were she has sex with him unprotected. It's the next day. She goes to the supermarket. She goes and she buys an ovulation kit to figure out if she's ovulating. She takes the test. It's a faint pink line. He's coming over for dinner at her place that night. So she tells him, go and pick up the morning after pill for me. He says, okay, sort of, whatever. It didn't sound too affirmative to me, but she still took it because she's still placing trust in this little prepubescent turd that she's supposedly having a relationship with. And He comes over that night and she greets him at the door to the house. He doesn't even compliment her place. And she goes, I made dinner. And she goes, so do you have my pill for me? And he says, oh, by the way, because I am this major expert in dipping my cock into any puss that comes along and impregnating them, and I don't know how to pull out, but I think I might have left some baby batter in you. Okay, I'm telling you that I know your body better than you do, bitch. And you can't trust the ovulation test because it was light pink and it got to be dark pink. And oh, by the way, you just getting too old, and you just overreacting all of this, over all of this. I am the expert on making babies, baby basting, I think he said. And you ain't got nothing to worry about because I said so. So I didn't bother to bring you what you asked me to, and I said I was sort of gonna bring. I'd have fucked his ass up in my house and then called the police on my ass. I would have willingly went to jail for that shit. Who the fuck are you telling me? I asked you to do something. I don't want to have no baby with you. I am taking the precautions that I should have took the other night. I'm wondering if he put something in her drink that all of a sudden she went in there and said, I don't want to go any further than kissing or something. And
Cuddling.
all of a sudden, cuddling. The next morning, she had sex. There is no way that I find that she... Okay, I am judging this based on my own. He's not attractive. He would not make me moist. He's drying me up every time he is on this show. His behavior, his mannerisms, his actions, they are just vile and repulsive. And Annie, I don't know how much they are paying you or whoever is paying you, but it is not enough to say that you fell on his penis. It is just not enough.
Well, no, she didn't fall on it. He climbed on top of her. I'm just saying.
Either way, the penis came in contact with the vagina.
But Debbie, let's call a thing a thing. No, he's too broke for you. He couldn't even get past your. He couldn't even get your Google Voice number to get on the app. Sorry.
Honestly,
that's just
once he deplaned, I would have left him at the airport and said, I don't know you. I don't know you. Because if I was hiring him, because remember, at one point in my life, I was looking into this. If he rolled off the plane, he could not be my donor. He was too short. He was too short. Remember one of the, okay, so I was watching a lot of stuff. In one of the documentaries that he did, there was a girl, and when she got to the hotel room, she goes, oh, you're short. He's like, I'm not short. And she's like, yes, you are. Thank God she miscarried.
So here's the thing though. He needs to understand, like, I'm of average height. So, sir, you're vertically challenged. So yeah, you're short. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be looking directly at my man. I need to be looking up. I want to get a crook in the neck.
And most women feel that way.
I am biased that way. That's my personal preference, and I don't care.
Right. Then, like, his problem is, oh gosh, he really acts like he's God's gift. If you the way he approaches Annie's like, you should be grateful I laid on top of you. And then that's the vibe he gave me when talking to her. Like, what you mean morning after? He's like, you can't get pregnant, blah 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 blah. When he said, here's the thing, when he said I track your cycle, I was like,
but she said, what do you mean I don't discuss that with you? The fuck? That means he's lying. And then to come and tell her that he's like some expert at this just because, like, I would like to talk to one of the women.
I know your body. He said, I know your body.
But here's the thing. I don't think he does.
But
just
because you have sex
doesn't mean that you give any pleasure. I would like to know if he really knows how to give pleasure to a woman. because it seems like he just knows how to fuck and bust a nut. Period. I don't see anybody having any sort of satisfaction from him. Oh my God. I just can't. I can't. Oh, there's 56 comments. We're gonna be so behind. Oh my God. Anyway, anything else to say? Why do we have to start with them? Like my pressure's up. Like
Okay. Real quick. Hold on. Let's do it this way.
Mm.
With this couple, she's in on the scam.
Mm-hmm.
Why she buy other relationships and not plan B to begin with? See, I'm glad. That's why I'm glad we have a lot of women here because I need to balance this stuff out. Because the way I was looking at it is like, well, ma'am, you're the woman. You and men, no offense, but ladies never leave your health care in the hands of a man that's not your doctor.
That's right.
Stop. I don't even have notes from the show. It's hard to pay attention to all these morals. All I hear is wah, wah, wah. When you sleep with someone, you sleep with everyone they've had. I can't ever be single again. Lena, yes, Lena, she was already in the store. Why didn't you buy the pill yourself? Exactly.
My thing, that wouldn't have even been a discussion with him. Because if he had asked me how my morning was, I was like, oh, I went and picked up the tomatoes and the cheese and whatever the hell she was making. I would have come home. Honestly, I wouldn't have bought the ovulation kit. I would have just taken the pill and flushed it out.
And called it a day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know, that would have caused another argument because if I suddenly had my period and he started asking, I'll be like, why do you care? And he said that tracking shit, I'd have still beat him up.
He clearly don't have the coin. He's willing to sell his sperm left, right, and center.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle's probably so broke his heart condition can't get money from his Chime card. No offense to Chime. I have Chime and they are fantastic. So no offense taken. If you aren't preggers, you take Plan B, and then it's a nothing burger, right? Like, won't hurt if you're not preggers.
No, it'll just bring on your period, I believe.
Tracy loves you so much.
Oh.
Steven is still cancer-free. Fantastic to hear.
Hey!
Roddy agrees with you. Death Valley Dry. Tracy forgot she had a son. I've lost all hope for Andy. She deserves this mess. Lena said he's short, balding, pasty, and creepy looking. Shocking. Can I be my baby daddy? Absolutely not.
Absolutely
5'8". 5'8" is average. Oh, I didn't know 5'8" was average for men. I'm 5'0". I'm a shade under 6 feet. So
we'll give you 6 foot.
How much you don't know about her? Right, he don't know nothing about her.
He don't care.
Thank you, Lena. He very clearly thinks he's God gift to women. He feels entitled to all women and their bodies. Is gross. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney, yes. Just because your member is big don't mean you have good stroke. True.
I don't even believe that.
Rodney said, as a Californian, we do not claim him. Sure don't.
You say that every week.
Debbie, no monetization for you in the suit voice.
I know.
Auntie agrees with me. I share your sentiment about Kyle, Miss Debbie.
Oh God.
Lena said I would have had Plan B in my coffee that morning. No discussion.
Yep. It just would have went down with the multivitamin. Just call it a day.
Oh, that's so nice, Tina.
Oh, hi, Tina.
Yes, Steven. Rodney's throwing Kyle out the state.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All the comments.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who's the next victim?
Oh, the next useless people who I've grown out of is what's her face? Alex and Adriano.
They didn't have much though, but it was annoying. But I saw this coming because when she said he's gonna keep on asking, I was just waiting for it. So he just wants to pick up randoms.
Yeah, but my whole thing is this. And I've been trying to give Alex a benefit of the doubt. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But you keep complaining about the same things over and over, and he's been this way the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, the problem is Alex, not him. Sorry. It's just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to look back is the fact that he felt so comfortable to talk to her, like, oh, let's go pick up those chicks, let's take them to
Mm-hmm.
dinner, let's have some wine.
Mm-hmm.
That just lets me know y'all done this before. Clearly, clearly, he's too comfortable. And then when she said, "Oh, I don't want threesomes anymore," okay, okay,
Because
fantastic,
she
but
did it when she was in her 20s. I feel she did it in her 20s, and he's of the opinion, you've done it before, you can do it with me.
no,
That's how I
no, no,
feel.
no. The reason why I'm going to disagree with you on that because she was way too calm. And men, we can be one track minded. I'll give us
Mm-hmm.
that. But in certain situations, we will only approach a woman that casually if the
Mm-hmm.
action has taken place before because a pattern of behavior has been established. He
Right,
was
but
not nervous, but he was not nervous though. He was not nervous.
the
He
pat
was
in
not
his
agitated.
head, don't forget he's normalized threesomes. And the pattern of behavior has been established previously. So he's in his head, well, since you did it before, you could do it with me. This is how I'm seeing this now.
Okay, I disagree. I'm going to like I said, I disagree with that because his
Mm-hmm.
demeanor. I'm taking account. I'm taking into account his demeanor, right? The way
Mm-hmm.
he approached it, way too casual for me. Then you look at Alex's response. She was way too calm, way too like, oh, like I know, and da 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 da. Like if you were that like vehemently against it, like you had not done it before, you would be like, how dare you ask me this? I
Right,
said I
but
don't want to
you just
do it. Blah
said
blah blah
that.
blah blah.
You just said it as if she hadn't done it before, but she's admitted to doing it before she found
I just think
Jesus. And he's that
she's.
comfortable with it because he's normalized it in his life. She is not freaking out over it because he has continuously asked her about this and all the time that they have been together. No, seriously, I was thinking that way, but now I'm not. I'm like I'm seeing it differently. Oh, who got out? Wait, what time is it? Oh shit. Okay, sorry. Um I need to turn the TV off during these shows. Okay, so basically what happened, I'm watching the 3 o'clock match, y'all. Okay, so with Alex and Adriano, they decide to go to the beach. They're gonna meet up with Tiffany there to get some sun or whatever. I think his friend Maduro or whatever his name was, he's also there too. I feel even when he said, "Oh, are you guys fighting over threesomes again?" Even he's normalized it. Even the fighting over the threesomes, he's
Mhm.
normalizing it because everything, like you said, is very, very casual. Um, Basically, at the end of their segment, there's some girls, young girls, on the beach, and Adriano's sitting there with Alex on the beach lounges, and he says, how about we invite one of the girls to dinner and we see if they want to do a threesome? And she says, no, I'm not doing that. He says, I'm going to keep on asking you. Um, and she continuously says no. And she says, I think this was in her one on one. Um, Okay. He says that the threesomes are a part of his life and he will always ask her. She says that at this point, it's so much bigger than the threesomes. It's about respect and he's not respecting her. She says he has two options: let it go, or if it's that important to him, he knows what he can do. She has laid down an ultimatum. Now, you know what happens when people lay down ultimatums. You got to be ready for them to accept them.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, you're gonna be going home to Dallas. She gonna be going
Whatever.
home to
Texas.
Texas by
Texas.
herself.
Nina says,
Um,
nah, she did with him. I could feel any interaction. She did with him once, and he took it like she would do it forever. Like I said, great value
mhm.
actually in Michael Darby. I promise you, she did that with him. Tina
I
says
feel like he's the one who wants it because she did it before, and why won't she do it with him?
they must have done it before.
Mm-mm. I'm feeling
Okay.
different. I'm feeling
Debbie, I gotta
different.
disagree. A woman who
I'm
suddenly got her
fe-
life together with Jesus, it would be a bigger deal to her to maintain that or leave him for it. Now we also have to go back here. Now I'm going to throw this other piece of context we have to remember. He felt comfortable enough to tell her that, oh, I will be down to have you and your cousin together.
That's next week. That's next week.
I know that, but
because he's changing tactics. He's thinking that because it's a stranger that she doesn't want to do it. So maybe if it'll be her cousin, she'll feel more comfortable. I don't know what's going on in his head, but last time I checked, I did not want to lick my cousin's twiddle twaddle.
Okay, Lena says if it bothered her that much, she'd have left him. It's not about respect, and she's putting on a whole show on board of her and him. Exactly. Adriano broke up with him twice already. Why she accepted this behavior? Exactly. Definitely fake storyline. Alex proposed a way to get a free vacation. She just had to convince Adriano to replay their relationship, and she would pay him $1,000.
I feel like this is her first Caucasian, and she is kind of like, got on the rose-colored glasses, and that's why she keep on holding on to it. I don't see any connection, chemistry, love, respect, or anything between the two of y'all. And that's her to him and him to her. Both ways. I don't see it. This was a vacation souvenir that should have been left on vacation. Like one and done.
Lena said he would never never gotten with her if she hadn't have shown her desire for that threesome mess. And that's what his friend said.
She was talking about it. I think she was talking about what she's done in the past because he's going to ask her, wondering if this is something that she would be interested in. And she said, yes, I've done it. And again, that's why he keep on coming at her, because he wants to know if you've done it before, why you don't want to do it with me. This is his ego. This is his ego. This is how I feel. At first, I thought it was that she did it with him, but the more that I see them, and this is his Hail Mary asking about the cousin. What did they do in okay, never mind. Because I was never with my cousin.
Aged out of this.
I was never into this, so good luck on y'all. So, which is the next loser?
Oh, the teenager and the idiot.
Oh my God. Okay, so brief synopsis with Luke and Meline. We see them pick up with the sacrifices and opportunity. Brian and Valeria arrive. They go to a little water park. They put the fight on hold. I find like Meline thinks that if they do something fun, he'll forget about the argument and serious topics that they were discussing before just because they're having fun. It's very juvenile of her and very irritating to me.
And she's a teenager, so okay.
Correct. But the water park looked like fun. Yay for them. They get out, and Meline decides she's going to strike first and come for Brian neck and say, why are you telling Luke to get a prenup? So he's like, I talked to Luke about it, but why is a dude at your house in your bed with you topless? Because that's what so-and-so said. And Valeria's like, ooh, child, thank God I already got married.
Valeria sat there like, I ain't saying nothing.
What she said is putting her in a bad position, but the truth have to come out. Valeria don't care. Valeria got her bag. Valeria signed her paperwork and she got her bag and she's living happy with her Brian. But Meline can't seal down hers. And here's why this is all Madeline's fault. Meline, yes, he's provided this house for you to live in, this apartment for you to live in. However, be wary of parties that you're having in your home when he's not there,
Thank you.
because a single girl living in a fancy apartment having parties with randoms leads to situations like this, where this dude decides, I'm going to go into her bedroom and lay down on her bed and wait for her to come in here, and we gonna get it on. Because if she's gonna have sex with the gringo, she's gonna have sex with me, and I'm gonna do it in his bed, and then I'm gonna run back and I'm gonna tell Brian. So I believe her that she admitted to having the party, and I believe her when she said she went into the bedroom and that he was on the bed, but she was not topless. I don't think she confirmed that she wasn't on the bed either.
She said she wasn't naked. That's what she said. She didn't say she wasn't topless. She just said she wasn't naked.
Well, either way, it was a bad move on her part to be having the party in the house when he wasn't there.
A teenager.
Anything could have happened to her. They could have been robbed. After all, this is Colombia. Like, girl, smarten up. Smarten up. If you want to be playing these big girl games.
Where is Paolo though? I need to know where the aunties is at, and the grandmother or whoever, like the people teaching her.
She's not letting them come over to the condo while he's not there. Only she enjoying that. How much you want to bet that wasn't a party that Paula set up?
Right.
Anywho,
I think Meline thought she was grown and could handle it on her own, and that's just not the case.
No, Madeline wanted everybody to see how good she got it. Ka-ching, ka-ching. She was showing off, and that's what you get. Because whenever people seeing that you have too much, they want to take it from you. Why else would that man go and tell Brian all that mess? Because he knows Brian is friends with Luke.
Right.
So, I mean, they argue. Luke and Madeline argue. He feels disrespected. This man has lost all his money, is paying for you to live in the high life while he's living in his mom's garage, and he hears that you bringing men up into his bed. That's no bueno. No bueno.
But again, she's 19. She's a teenager. She's childish.
Stop using that as an excuse. No more. Because if you want to play big girl games, be a big woman then. Be a big woman and stop being a little girl. And I blame Luke too for that bullshit that he said at the end, saying, I don't want to be with a little girl. I want to be with a woman. Then fucking stop hanging around at the high school. I'm sick of these two.
Cause I'm looking at Aunt Paula, the grandmother, and I'm looking at Valeria. I'm like, does she not learn anything? Like, she learns. She takes no accountability and doesn't absorb any knowledge.
And I could tell you that she hasn't learned anything because of her last statement telling him to go back to America. Go back to America.
Exactly.
And where are you going? You going back home to grandma's house because the fuck I'd let you stay in my apartment.
Right.
I already told you. I feel like the car was a rental. I don't even think it was a lease or a bar or anything because we haven't seen it since the aeroport.
Right. Or the nail salon.
Everywhere.
Or beauty.
Oh my God. We can't even pronounce that incorrectly with the way how she spelled it. I would be giving up the lease on that apartment.
Oh, you know that would happen if he left.
No, he gonna feel sorry for her not to stay there. But just know, don't complain when you hear about the next party and her being naked in the bed with somebody else.
Right.
Because the way how you've treated her on this trip, Paula is telling her you need to go and find a backup.
For sure.
Use the apartment to find a backup. But anyway, anything else with these two?
No.
Last but not least, Aaliyah and Sean. I'm whole the hell pissed off with this storyline. But I can understand some parts of it because I can see my friends doing it.
Okay. And y'all forgive me, but I kind of felt where Sean was coming from. because in this instance, because
Mm-hmm.
you're in two different countries.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in the United States and I'm seeing someone in like and say like London or some bullshit like that, they shouldn't expect me to go without, and I shouldn't expect them to go without. Let's just call a thing on that. Like
Well, hold
let's
on.
be real.
Hold
Let's
on.
be real.
Unless they're paying for your celibacy, then yeah.
That's a different thing though. Like I'm going off. I mean, the way that Aaliyah's acting. I'm going off. I'm using this. You
Okay,
can't
but we
expect
we
that.
can't talk about Aaliyah. We need to talk about Sean and Douglas because that's how he first found Douglas was Douglas. And on an app, he was looking for a twink. Okay. And everything in my bones is telling me that's what he was looking for and that's what he found. He
Yeah.
pulls up that app for where I'm getting ready to go on a job to London, Brazil, whatever, and
Right.
I find me companionship.
Right.
Shit, I had a friend who did that going to the grocery store on Grinder. But oh my God, when Grindr first came out, all my friends was vibrating, always vibrating because they would find out who was close by for the random hookup. It was exhausting. It was exhausting. But Sean is like my friends. And you on the grinder, you grinding, and you gone. So he happened to have met Douglas during the pandemic.
Right.
So instead of going down, grinding one out, and leaving, he actually got to talk with them. It took them a little bit longer to finally see each other, but when they did, they liked each other. So then he started taking Douglas on trips. So now he doesn't really have to use the app if he brought along his pocket puss. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I keep on saying that he was looking for a twink because there's certain characteristics that he keeps on saying that relate to Douglas that don't
Mm.
relate to Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
And now we find out because of Jackie that they haven't had intercourse this trip. Um quite honestly, if she continues on as Aaliyah,
Real
her
quick.
her uh-huh.
I need to think. I need to think. Yeah, I think I need to say this. But for everybody in the audience, a man is a man, no matter what his sexual preference. I have to.
Mm-hmm.
We have to say that because we got the businessmen out there who be on the Ashley Madison. With them peoples. So a man is a man. I just
Uh-huh.
feel like I need to say that it has nothing to do with like gay, straight, bisexual, whatever. A man is a man.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean is like a big. And Sean is a businessman.
But here's the thing though. What's confusing to me is the the sex part is throwing me for a loop because I'm beginning to think he's not attracted to her face forward only from the back.
Correct.
Right.
But he's not being
So,
honest about it though, and that's the problem. I do
but
have an
then
issue
why
with that.
propose? Why propose?
Yes.
And he didn't really answer. It was an evasive, vague answer when she was like, "Well, when we get married, are we going to be, monogamous?" And he didn't quite answer. Like I couldn't
He
determine
never
the
he never
answer.
answered that. He never answered that from my vantage point.
So then there should have been a lot of discussions. Like I feel like he's evading the discussion of her transition.
Yes.
Um, she like she says that she's Aaliyah and she's all of this and she's herself and she's bold and she's fearless, but yet she's using Jackie to ask all the hard questions because. And then on top of that, I have a problem with her. Don't be asking about his money situation or what's happening with you should something happen to him and monogamy and all of that, if you can't vocalize it yourself, I don't appreciate Jackie being in the picture. I just don't. Because if you all of this woman to go through your transition and be the real you, then you need to sit down and talk to your man and find out what the hell is he going to do for you. Like, yeah, you could have accepted the ring, but that night we would have went home and said, I got a few things to talk about with you.
Sean is dead wrong, period. He has been a part of this community too damn long to be acting like a lost straight in the LGBTQ plus jungle. Stop it. Rodney says
I think he's perfect for
Sean,
the community because
Sean
he's
does
doing
not want
exactly what my friends do.
Sean does not want a trans woman. He wants a softer man.
He want a
Lena,
twink.
Lena says, I was raised in this. My parents are gay men. I am bisexual and have been up in this community from day one. Sean is the problem. I'm going to agree here and I'll go back to that. He needs to sack up and move on if that's what he wants.
Exactly.
This part right here.
He feels a responsibility to Douglas. He really does. And I think he was hoping that Aaliyah would go away and Douglas would come back. But I think he still feels some sort of responsibility towards Aaliyah, because I wonder if he was supporting her, because we still don't know what she does for work, where she is living. Mm-hmm. And if he knows that because he seems like a really generous guy, I feel like he's been supporting her. And I think he came down there hoping that there was still going to be Douglas there just for him.
Yeah, I'm going to take pieces of everything here, and I hope I articulate this correctly. I think what happened is that he thought if he came down there and made like this grand gesture and all this stuff, I really think he felt that, well, if Aaliyah / Douglas loves me, then he'll put Aaliyah away for a while. Like, he'll be Douglas for me, and then when I leave, it'll be Aaliyah. I really feel he thought that.
What did he say at the end? It was a personality. He called Aaliyah a personality.
Yes,
that was concerning for me, because that made me think, well, he still think that this ain't for real,
right? Like this is still dressed up in an elevated form. You know what I mean?
Yes. The two of them are dead wrong. Like, and it's all down to communication. He still wants a twink, a temporary like twink. He want a twink in every destination. So why are you proposing to her?
Right here. Nope, he's not being honest. Agreed. That's the problem with him. The lack of honesty is wild. Douglas doesn't exist. And Aaliyah has made this very clear, which is why when he proposed, it shocked me. Stop pretending Douglas is real. You know he ain't. You're in this community. You know better.
I don't know. I wonder if I need to know what she does for work. Who supports her when he's not there? Because it felt like she was coming to the States. She want to know what's going to happen when she comes to the States. Where you going to work? It sounds really weird.
Lena says, but he knows that's not how this works, and that's what bothers me. Because he knows that she's trans. He just actively wants her not to be. This is bigotry that is rampant in the community. Yes.
But this is why I'm wondering if he's supporting her, because in his head, if he has bought and paid for Douglas, he's expecting Douglas to be there when he show up. You could go be Aaliyah, this personality when I'm not there. But when I'm there, I'm expecting Douglas. I'm wondering if that's how he's rationalizing it.
I think what Lena is also saying is that Sean knows that Aaliyah is trans. Like, he knows knows this, but what he's trying to do is convince her not to be. That's
for her not
to be, right.
And it all comes down to finances when they go to these countries and find people like Aaliyah, who have been cast out by their families. You can take financial control of them. It's
Mhm.
just very weird. It's very I feel like we're missing a huge chunk. I think Sean knows what she is, but is trying to get her to not be that way just for him.
Right.
I don't know. I do think he had a fair point.
This is just a case of us trying to see the best in a gay man that we wouldn't try to see in a straight man in the same situation.
Mhm.
Him rationalizing his own bigotry because he has money is the issue.
And that's what I've been asking from the jump. I always thought this came down to money. I really
For me,
do.
Lena, I'll be honest. Like we would not be giving straight man benefit of the doubt. My thing was, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt
He
up
would
until
never pull a stunt like this for
until
someone in the States.
until the proposal.
That threw me for a loop.
It made no to me. It made no the proposal made no sense. So that's where he kind of lost. That's where he kind of lost me and it made me question like what's the what's the end game here.
But they
If
never
if
spoke
that makes
about
really
him
sense.
coming to the States or anything like that. It's Aaliyah saying when I'm coming to the States. And then he says something about a makeup room. But like I didn't hear not one time anyone saying K1 visa or spousal visa, like we're putting in the application, like nothing like that. It just seems so vague. Like there's huge chunks of information in this relationship that we're missing, and it's just not making any sense.
And also I also feel that we're now seeing his toxic traits come to the forefront, if that makes sense. I and maybe I'm wrong, but up until the proposal,
Mm-hmm.
we saw Sean as like being supportive. Like we did question some things because we're like, why do you keep um mentioning Douglas when she said Douglas is no more? Like
But yet show up
why do you
with a
keep doing that?
whole but he showed up with a whole suitcase full of stuff, hair, wigs,
Right,
jewelry, clothes, all of this stuff
right,
as if he's being supportive. But then in the confessionals, he wasn't. He was talking about Douglas.
right.
It's very contradictory and very confusing. Then they threw in the proposal. That didn't make any sense to me
Yes.
because it seems like they hadn't really talked. And then what I didn't like, I did not like Jackie being a part of this. They could have had Aaliyah ask these questions, which would have led to an actual real conversation on what's going
Right.
on. And each of them had to lay out both of their expectations of each other for the relationship and next steps if this was serious. But instead, you brought in this girl from Panama that we don't really care about, and she's asking rude questions, which is just throwing a wrench in everything. For me, it didn't flow well. But anyway.
Yeah, it didn't because it's at this part of the storyline is starting to fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I still go back to the proposal. The proposal still threw me off with what, like you said, what he's saying on camera, and then what he's saying in the confessionals, and then what Aaliyah is saying on camera and in the confessionals. And then
But
then you throw in Jackie Mouthpiece.
I also have I also have issues with the timeline with the proposal because I'm still thinking back that he said that he worked with that woman a year ago and got her to make a video.
But remember,
You're
when
having issues with Douglas transitioning to Aaliyah. It's a year later and you're still proposing? Like it doesn't make sense.
but if this was a year ago, oh, okay, okay, I just thought about something.
Mm.
Oh, and it's because of the timeline. And you guys are gonna have to help me with this, and I hope I have it right. Okay, so if he had this done a year ago,
The video, yeah. That's what I think he said.
That means you, in the video, she she called Aaliyah by Aaliyah, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so this doesn't make any sense at all then.
Right,
Because
because
how
how
are
long she
you?
been transitioning?
Remember 8 months. Remember when we started this? It was 8 months. That's why,
Or they hadn't seen each other in 8 months?
like it was something like it's something with 8 months. They hadn't seen each other though. But how are you having? How do you have a proposal from a year ago, but still have a problem with Aaliyah now? That makes no
But
sense.
how did you go through with it if you're still having doubts and you still wishing Douglas was there? Again, we're missing something. We're missing a lot. It just
But
doesn't make sense.
no, because the video said Aaliyah, but the actual like what we're led to believe is that the real transitioning started happening within these last 8 months. That doesn't work with this story. It doesn't.
Maybe that's why we're having so much problems with this. Because I've from the time of that proposal, I had a problem with the timeline. It wasn't clicking for me, and that's probably what you're saying now because the woman Anita said Aaliyah.
Right.
I'm
A
so
whole year ago.
confused. I'm so confused. The proposal was for the future of 90 day. They have to go through these motions to go to the next level. Now they go on to before the 90 days, bring it to you. Oh, so Tracy thinks that the proposal was just part of the script.
Oh,
Well, that's where the whole story fell off for me.
right.
Before I was saying, oh, this is a nice reenactment of their relationship,
Right.
but that proposal was where it went not making sense anymore. I don't know. Who the hell? Oh.
And then Sean, hmm. Yeah, this is very interesting. Like I see Sean after the proposal. I just see Sean very differently, and it's not something I like because the way I'm seeing this, and I hope I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that comes to my head is that he proposed to Aaliyah
Mm-hmm.
so they can get a spousal visa. So Sean can bring Aaliyah to the States
Mm-hmm.
to where he has full financial control. And I hate to say this, and it's mean to say, I would hate to think it was this mean spirited, but having Aaliyah here would make it easier for him to block the transition.
Oh, because it'd be cost prohibitive. Mm.
Because it's easier to control somebody when they're with you and when they're solely dependent on you for everything. Because in Brazil, Aaliyah still has support.
She got support from who? Vincenzo and Jackie? Oh my God.
Okay,
You all are going to hurt yourself trying to figure this out. There's nothing to figure out. It's a reenactment, and logic is not in the script, period, in my opinion, of course. I can't stand you. Oh, it's like I really wanted to like this couple, but Sean is turning into my friends. Um, Aaliyah, I wanted, she's a disappointment of a strong, independent person. And Jackie, go away. And
I'm
I
gonna
wouldn't
say it.
mind seeing Vincenzo.
I'm gonna say it like this: Sean strikes me as someone who'd be financially abusive to Aaliyah. Period. And I don't like that. I don't like this kind of power dynamic, especially when it comes down to financials. because let's be completely honest with this. Let's be completely honest. If this were a traditional couple, a man and a woman, we would look at the woman and say, like, what are you doing? Why'd you accept that proposal? Don't do it, girl. Don't put yourself in that position. And that's just how I see it.
Okay, so Ryan said, did Sean have hoes in different area codes? And Douglas was his favorite, so he decided to make it a relationship. But then Aaliyah emerged and flipped the script. I I I don't know. Like I hate to say this. I think Aaliyah thought it was a relationship, and she was just the most popular one for Sean. Like she was the best travel companion.
Right, but there was no need to having a proposal then with the name Aaliyah. That's the problem here.
Right, but we on 90 Day Fiancé, so there got to be a proposal.
Okay.
Especially if we're going to bring them on, we're going to graduate them from Love in Paradise to the other franchises.
Franchises.
Yeah, if he wants to continue this nonsense. And maybe the proposal is the way to get them onto another franchise. But again, lack of communication. I don't know. My brain is sprained right now. I'm just wait. Did I get
nothing? I think what it is, I'm just really not liking Sean right now. So
I didn't.
I think for me, I think I'm just seeing things I don't particularly like.
I don't know. Sean is just acting like some of my friends, like a big old hoe. And quite honestly, when they first got together, even after their first physical meeting or whatever, I don't know how she thought she was in a relationship with him because they were not seeing each other that often. You live on different continents. I think that was immature of her.
Of both of them.
No, well, in his mind, he was thinking like me. In her mind, I don't know what she was thinking. And never mind. Never mind. Um, that's we went over everybody, right? Yeah.
Right.
That's it, y'all. Give us a couple minutes. We'll come back and we'll do the other shit show, 90 Day Fiancé UK. The new dude. Wow. Okay. Where do they find these people from? Where? Because we're basically scraping underneath the barrel now. We really are. Wait, who are they talking about from the West Indies? Oh, I need to stop watching cricket during the show. Anyway, y'all, give us a couple minutes. We'll be right back and we'll talk about UK. Jamal, any final thoughts?
No, we're good.
All right, y'all. Be back in a couple minutes. Bye.